Part 1. You are dismissed. The first light of dawn stretches across the pink city of Jaipur. Sunlight trickles through the neem trees that stand guard around the age-old Rathore Haveli. The morning birds chirp gently, but the mansion's atmosphere hums with tension. Today, the sprawling Rathore family has assembled not for a reunion, but for the reading of the last will and testament of Arjun Rathore, the chairman of the Rathore Group, who was declared missing in a plane crash 6 months ago. Luxury cars line the Haveli gates. Mercedes, Jaguars, even a vintage Ambassador. Men step out in crisp white silk kurtas, Nehru jackets hugging their shoulders, while the women dazzle in Kanjivaram saris, laced with zari, their bangles chiming with every movement. They walk into the marble-floored main hall with the air of importance, some whispering in Hindi, some checking their phones for market updates. And then there is you. You don't arrive in a car with tinted windows or walk flanked by assistants. You enter quietly through the side gate. Your cotton gray sari, humble and faded from many washes, flutters in the morning breeze. You wear a simple dupatta over your head and hold a cloth bag that once belonged to your mother. There are no jewels around your neck, no perfume cloud in your wake. They do not recognize you. They do not know that you are Isha Rathore, Arjun's lawful wife. You step into the grand hall where the Rathores have gathered like royalty. You have walked these floors before, quietly in the shadow of the man you loved. But today, your presence is met with disdain. Priya Rathore, Arjun's influencer niece, catches sight of you and scoffs. Her red designer sari gleams under the chandelier, and her long eyelashes flutter as she laughs. "Who let the maid in?" she says, loud enough for a few others to hear. Rima, her stylist, clutches her cup of masala chai and chuckles. She probably came to ask for charity. Look at that bag. Must be carrying her lunch in it. Laughter bubbles up around the room. They do not lower their voices. They want you to hear. You keep walking. You choose a spot near the bronze statue of Lord Ganesha and fold your hands in prayer. The murmurs continue. Someone wonders aloud if you're one of the women Arjun helped in his village charity programs. A cousin takes a picture of you and types out a caption. Thrift Queen at Haveli. You are aware of every stare, every smirk, every cruel whisper. You spot Veer Rathore across the room, adjusting his emerald sherwani. He eyes you with the smirk of someone sizing up a street vendor. Another stray looking for a bone, he mutters to his friend. Their laughter echoes. A middle-aged man approaches you. Dinesh uncle, Arjun's distant cousin. Which village are you from, Beta? Do you work with one of the old cooks here? He asks, not with malice, but with assumption. You simply shake your head. There is no need to explain. A child tugs your sari gently and asks, Auntie, do you make laddus? The laughter returns, louder this time. Priya quips, Kids know the truth, don't they? Your silence unnerves them. They mistake it for weakness, but you are stronger than all of them combined. You glance briefly at the security camera in the corner. Its red light blinks steadily. Everything is being recorded. You planned it this way. This gathering is not just about inheritance. It is a test, a final one. You do not seek money. You seek the truth. You seek to know who among them deserves to be called family. Only one person in the room seems to recognize you. Radha Auntie, the elderly housekeeper. Her eyes widen and glisten with emotion, but she dares not come close. She knows better than to cross the invisible lines the others draw with their judgments. The rhythmic beat of a tabla signals the arrival of Ramesh Singh, the family's lawyer. He walks in, clutching a brown leather briefcase. His expression is unreadable. The room slowly settles. Phones are slipped into purses. Saris are smoothed. Faces turn expectant. You adjust the strap of your cloth bag. You straighten your back. You lift your chin. You step forward. Not enough to make a scene, but just enough. They still think you are nobody. They still believe you don't belong. They are wrong. And soon they will know it. You watch as Ramesh Singh, the family lawyer, places the heavy brown briefcase on the marble table at the front. His movements are deliberate, practiced, like a man who has seen the worst of greed dressed in silk. He clears his throat and glances briefly at the room. The hum of side conversations fades. Chairs are pulled closer, phones switched to silent. You remain standing near the back, by the bronze statue. No one offers you a seat. No one speaks to you. But they all keep watching you, even if they pretend not to. Ramesh opens the briefcase and pulls out a thick envelope sealed with wax. "This," he says, "is the final will and testament of Mr. Arjun Rathore, signed and notarized 3 years ago." Murmurs ripple through the room. 3 years? Someone whispers. Why so long ago? "He must have changed it before the crash," another replies. You sense the shift instantly. They're calculating, already moving through possibilities. Who was close to him 3 years ago? Who had his trust? Who might have lost favor since? Ramesh looks around. "Before I begin reading, I ask for your complete attention. The contents are binding and final." A tense stillness settles over the room. All eyes turn toward the front. You place your bag on the floor beside your feet. Ramesh breaks the wax seal. The sound is louder than expected, like a crack in the foundation. He unfolds the paper slowly, then begins. "I, Arjun Rathore, being of sound mind and memory, do hereby declare this to be my final will." You hear the breath catch in several throats. The gravity of the moment begins to anchor itself. "To my family, business associates, and those who have stood beside me in power and prosperity, I leave nothing but truth." A stunned silence blankets the hall. Brows furrow, mouths part. "Nothing?" someone gasps. Priya leans forward, eyes narrowed. Ramesh continues unfazed. "All of my assets, properties, holdings, and rights are to be inherited by one individual, the person who stood by me not for my name or wealth, but for me." Your breath remains calm, your hands steady. "That person," Ramesh says, glancing over the paper one last time, "is my wife, Isha Rathore." Gasps erupt, chairs scrape, voices rise. "Wife?" Veer stands, almost knocking over his seat. "Arjun wasn't married!" Priya's eyes widen. "This is some sort of fraud. Who is this Isha? She's lying!" Someone shouts. All eyes turn to you. For the first time, they really see you. You don't move. You let the storm swirl around you. Ramesh lifts a hand, commanding silence. "The will is valid. The documents are legal. Supporting materials include a registered marriage certificate, witness statements, photographs, and letters. All verified." He opens a folder and holds up a photo. Arjun, younger, smiling, garlanding you in front of a temple. The date on the back, 7 years ago. You step forward. Gasps ripple again, but this time, no one laughs. You walk with quiet purpose. Your sari brushes the marble. Your chin is raised. You reach the table and stand beside Ramesh. "I didn't come here to claim riches," you say, your voice even, low but resonant. "I came to see who would honor Arjun. As a man, not a bank account." You scan the room. Faces fall. No one speaks. They saw a woman in simple clothes and made assumptions. But Arjun knew me. He trusted me. He loved me. You look at Priya, at Veer, at the others who mocked you. Now let's see who truly belongs here. And just like that, the balance begins to shift. Part 3. Faces unmasked. Silence stretches long and tense. The weight of your presence, of the truth, presses down on them all. You, once invisible, are now undeniable. Veer is the first to speak again, though his voice is far less confident than before. "There has to be a mistake," he says, his eyes darting between you and Ramesh. "This woman, she's not part of the family. No one has ever seen her at any gathering." Ramesh responds calmly. "That is because Mr. Arjun Rathore chose to keep his marriage private, for reasons best known to him." Priya's voice cuts in sharply. "So we're supposed to just believe this? Because of one picture and a piece of paper?" You step closer. There's more than paper. There's a life. There's a bond your eyes can't see because they only look for gold. Murmurs swirl through the crowd. Someone whispers, "Could it be true?" Another says, "She does look calm. Too calm for a liar." Ramesh pulls out another envelope. If further proof is needed, Mr. Rathore anticipated this reaction. He opens a small laptop, plugs in a USB, and clicks play. The screen behind flickers to life. The room stills as a video plays. Arjun, sitting on the steps of a small temple, laughing with you. Your sari is different, but your eyes are the same. He wraps a garland around your neck. You smile. The priest chants quietly in the background. Gasps fill the room again. The timestamp flashes clearly on the screen. 7 years ago. And then Arjun speaks, on the video. If you are watching this, I am likely gone. But my heart is still with Isha. She is my wife, my world. She deserves respect, not suspicion. Everything I built knowing she was by my side. By the time the video ends, many can't meet your gaze. You look at them, not with anger, but clarity. All I wanted was to see who you are when you thought I didn't matter. The hall is now a mirror, showing each of them their true reflection. The masks have slipped. And your silence, once mocked, now commands the entire room. Just as the air thickens with the weight of the past, the main doors of the hall swing open. Every head turns, the silence sharpens. A man steps in. Tall, lean, and unmistakably alive. Arjun Rathore. He walks slowly, purposefully. No guards, no entourage. His kurta is wrinkled, his sandals worn, and his face, older, tired, but determined. Gasps break across the room like lightning. Arjun? Veer stammers. Priya's hand flies to her mouth. This has to be a trick. You don't move. You simply watch as he walks toward you, his eyes never leaving yours. When he reaches you, he stops and gently places his hand over yours. For a moment, the world stills. Then, he turns to face the others. I see you've met my wife, he says, voice calm but steady. I watched everything. The room erupts, shouts, gasps, protests, but he raises one hand and the noise fades. I faked my death to see who would remain loyal, who would turn vicious. Isha designed this. The cameras, the will, the test, and you all failed. He looks at Veer. You called her a beggar, to Priya. You mocked her for being simple, to the room. Not one of you asked who she was before judging her. Arjun steps forward. Family is not blood. Family is respect, loyalty, and love. He gestures to the door. 2 guards appear. Anyone who insulted my wife today, your names are recorded. Your inheritance revoked. You are no longer part of this legacy. Ramesh begins reading names. Veer Rathore, Priya Rathore, Rajiv Malhotra, Sunita Desai. Each name lands like a hammer blow. Faces turn pale. Some plead. Others storm out. The guards escort them one by one. You stand silently, his hand still on yours. Arjun looks at you. You were right. They needed to be seen without their masks. And now, the house, once filled with ambition and pretense, feels quiet, real, clean, as if truth itself has finally come home. As the last of the names are read, and the final footsteps fade beyond the marble corridor, the hall falls into a silence, not of tension, but release. There are only a few people left. Ramesh closes the will with finality, nods to Arjun, and quietly steps away. The guards melt into the background, their role complete. The chandeliers flicker gently as the wind brushes through the open arches. You look around. The people who remain did not laugh, did not whisper, did not judge. There's the elderly housekeeper, Radha Auntie, her eyes damp but warm. The temple priest, who had quietly offered you water earlier, standing near the side with hands folded. And a young woman named Meera, a clerk from Arjun's office, who gave you a kind smile when you entered. Arjun speaks gently. These are the ones who saw her. He turns to them. You didn't know who she was, but you treated her with decency. That's all we ever wanted." They nod quietly, their eyes kind. You take a slow breath, letting the moment settle in your chest. You step forward, facing them. "Thank you," you say, your voice steady, "for your humanity." You glance at the chairs that once held vultures in silk, at the champagne glasses now abandoned on tables, at the cracked screen of a phone left behind in haste. "Arjun and I never cared for wealth," you say softly. "We just wanted truth." Arjun reaches for your hand again. "And now," he says, "we begin again, with only what matters." And in that quiet, with the breeze stirring the curtain lace and the scent of roses still lingering in the air, you finally feel it. Not victory, but peace. And that is enough. The Haveli is almost empty now. The echoes of cruelty have faded, replaced by a gentle quiet that wraps around you like a shawl. Outside, the sky has shifted to late afternoon. The neem trees sway softly, and somewhere, a flute is being played by a boy near the temple. You walk slowly through the great hall, your footsteps the only sound. Arjun walks beside you, his presence no longer ghostly, but grounded, solid. Each step forward feels like leaving behind a past that never truly embraced you. As you pass the portraits of ancestors, Arjun pauses. "They built this house with stone and pride," he says, "but today we laid its true foundation with truth." You nod. And truth needs no gold to shine. In the courtyard, Radha Auntie hands you a small diya, an earthen lamp. "For peace," she says. You take it, light it, and place it gently at the foot of the tulsi plant. The flame flickers, steady and warm. It reminds you of Arjun's belief in you, of the dignity you carried through silence, and of every moment you stood still while others tried to break you. Arjun turns to Meera, to the priest, to Radha. "You are family now, not by blood, but by grace." He smiles, tired but honest. "If you'll have us, this Haveli will be your home too." Tears shimmer in Radha's eyes. The priest bows deeply. Meera folds her hands, her voice trembling. "Thank you, sir, ma'am." You walk to the steps where the sunlight pours in golden. Arjun sits beside you. The two of you watch as the shadows stretch long across the garden. There is no noise now, no judgment, no pretending. Only space and honesty. You turn to Arjun. "Do you regret it? Disappearing?" He meets your gaze. "Only the pain it caused you, but the truth it revealed. It was worth it." You lean your head gently against his shoulder. "Then let's live not as heirs," you whisper, "but as whole people." And as the sky turns amber and the diya continues to glow, you finally know, this is not an ending, it's a beginning, and it is yours, together.